Hi everybody, Todd Galda here with Cross Country Mortgage, and for this edition of the Scaringtons, we are going to talk about the C of the ABCs, C standing for credit. And if you remember, A stands for assets, B stands for budget or income, and then the C represents the credit. Those three aspects of your qualification, your application, basically comprise about 90% of your overall financing approval. So today, we're really going to talk about credit. As you can see, Joe and Mary just aren't talking to each other, quite frankly. And apparently, Joe had opened up some credit cards that Mary didn't know about. And so those came to light when we ran the credit. So it's very important that as spouses, if you're purchasing together, that everything is talked about and discussed prior to going into this opportunity with regards to purchasing a home. So credit, super important. It's very important that everybody knows what is going on with regards to obligations, any potential missed payments in the past, right? This is the time to address those issues and talk about what that means for you as a couple. Now, a couple comments really quick. With regards to credit, it's incredibly important when it comes to home financing. We like to see scores in the 680 to 700 range or above. The higher the credit score, the better the pricing, the more options you have for financing, et cetera, et cetera. So you want to work on getting your scores up as much as possible. Now, are there ways for you to fix your credit? Absolutely, okay? For those that have medical bills that may have gone to collections, don't pay those off just yet. Wait until you actually have your credit run by your loan officer. My suggestion is we actually can reach out to the creditor and recommend that you pay the balance in full, and then request for the deletion of the infraction that shows up on your credit, right? The collection, if you will. But they're not gonna delete it from the bureaus without you actually paying in full. So you can certainly negotiate to lower those obligations, but why would they remove them from the credit if you're not paying them in full? So that's a really important point to make. Now, there's no guarantee that a creditor will remove something or request the removal from the credit bureaus, but it's very important that you always ask, okay? And if the first person you speak to on the phone says, no, sorry, we don't do that, talk to their manager or their manager's manager and go up as high as you possibly can. Fight for yourself when it comes to credit. That's super important, okay? Now, some key points with regards to credit. Investors for home mortgages like to see history of credit. So it's important that you have open trade lines, at least 2 or 3 or 4. Yes, you can make it work with one, but the more the better. And we like to see 24 months of history. So if you're new to the country and you only have 6 months of credit cards and maybe only 1 or 2, it doesn't negate your ability to get financing. It just makes it a little bit more challenging. So if you're thinking, okay, maybe now is not the time to buy, that's not necessarily because you don't have credit or you don't have a credit profile. Go ahead and start open a couple credit cards and let those season. Obviously, make payments on time. Don't miss any payments. But you're not going to be dinged in the long run for having too many credit cards. This is a really big, and another topic I'd like to talk about really quick. People think they need to cancel their credit cards in order to improve their profile. That actually is just the opposite. You don't want to cancel your credit cards. I mean, I've got borrowers that have 15 to 20 credit cards, trade lines, but they've never missed a payment, and they keep the balances on those cards down below 30%. And so their scores are stellar, 800 and above. So you don't get hurt. The credit bureaus don't ding you for having too many cards. They ding you for missing payments, and they ding you for having really high balances. So for me, it's important that you don't cancel those cards. Now, if you feel uncomfortable with 20 cards or 15 cards and you only use maybe 5, that's not going to hurt you, right? To close a couple of those that you're not using. And, your scores might be affected a little bit, but in the long run, that's not necessarily a bad thing. But my point is, don't go closing cards and accounts thinking your scores are going to go up. They don't affect your scores that way. Okay, the bureaus like to see a lot of trade lines, but they also like to see on-time payments and history of the on-time payments. So hope that is very helpful. I'm going to go back and meet with Joe and Mary right now and see if we can't sort this out. I think we can. I think they're in a good position otherwise, but sometimes we have to do a little marriage counseling in this mortgage advising practice that we're in. So anyways, thank you so much for listening. That is our 4-episode overview of the Scaringtons and the ABCs of home financing. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions along the way, please don't hesitate to reach out. I am Todd Galdi with Cross Country Mortgage, and thank you so much for watching.